Everyone thought the math was settled. 5,000 men, 5 loaves, 2 fish. The world expected empty stomachs and a dispersed crowd, but God chose the impossible. And one boy placed his lunch in the hands of the Messiah. This is the story of the multiplication that shouldn't have happened. Philip. He stands on the edge of a decision that could unravel his soul. One misstep and trust collapses. Faith flickers like a candle in wind. You know this moment. Not by name, but by weight. That quiet dread when the impossible is placed in your hands. Sunlight spills across the water, thin gold on ripples. The Sea of Galilee breathes, slow, ancient, holding its breath. Reeds whisper at the shore. A fish leaps, then silence. The air tastes of dust and salt. This lake has seen pilgrims weep, fishermen curse, prophets walk. Now it watches again. From the hills they come, a tide of sandals, cloaks flapping like tired wings. Dust rises in veils, throats parched, bellies hollow. 5,000 shadows stretching long in the morning. They carry nothing but need, the kind that cracks voices, the kind that makes a man beg with his eyes. Up the slope, Jesus walks. Stone shifts underfoot. The disciples follow, shoulders slumped, dust in their beards. They've been healing, teaching, pouring out. Now they pause, breathe. The wind carries the murmur of the crowd, a low hum like bees in dry grass. He sits, crosses his legs. The fabric of his robe settles around him. His gaze sweeps the faces below. Not just seeing hunger, not just counting mouths. He sees deeper, into the marrow, into the unspoken doubt coiled in the 12. He sees the famine no bread can fix. Passover is near. The air hums with memory. Moses, freedom, manna falling like frost in the desert. The people's hearts beat with old hope. They want deliverance. They want signs. They want bread that lasts. He turns, looks at Philip. Not harsh, not urgent, just a question, soft as breath. Where shall we buy bread for these to eat? The words hang. No answer comes, just the rustle of cloth. A child coughs. Philip's pulse knocks in his throat. His mind races, markets, coins, wages, 200 denarii, 8 months of labor, and still not enough to give each one a morsel. He calculates, weighs, measures. The numbers crush like stone, but the text whispers what Philip didn't know. Jesus already held the answer, not in a basket, not in a market, in himself. The question wasn't about supply, it was a mirror, a test. Will you reach for your purse or your faith? And Philip, like all of us, reaches for the ledger, the abacus, the list of what's possible. He forgets that faith doesn't balance books. It breaks them. We remember the loaves, the fragments gathered, the full bellies. But that wasn't the miracle, not really. The miracle was this: a man standing in lack asked to believe in abundance. What if the hunger wasn't in the crowd at all? What if it was in the ones closest to him? The ones who'd seen water turn to wine, the lame walk, the blind see, and still, they counted coins. The crowd came for bread. That's all they knew to want. But Jesus came for something deeper. He came to reveal the famine in the faithful. This place, this hillside, this moment is not about feeding bodies. It's about exposing hearts. The collision is coming, not between hunger and food, but between human limits and divine intention. The wind stills. The water holds its breath. The disciples shift. Philip stares at the ground. And the question lingers, still unanswered, still burning. When the math fails, what do you reach for? Eastward, beyond the curve of the lake, where the land folds into itself, rising in barren swells. No trees, no wells, only stone and thorn. The kind of place where voices don't carry far, swallowed by the hush of open earth. This is where he led them. Not by accident, not by fatigue, by design. The ground here remembers. Every footfall echoes older footsteps. Abraham, centuries gone, walked into emptiness with a knife and a promise. Israel, a nation in the making, wandered here. 40 years of thirst, 40 years of hunger, 40 years of learning that bread could fall from sky, but trust had to be carved from dust. David, hunted, breath ragged, hid in these same ravines, listening for the scrape of spear on rock. Elijah, alone, begged for death beneath a broom tree, his soul thinner than the wind. The wilderness does not comfort. It reveals. It strips. It asks, what do you carry when everything else is gone? Passover air, thick with memory. The people's breath smells of unleavened bread and old stories. They speak in low tones of Moses, of the Red Sea splitting like cloth, of manna, white flakes on the morning dew, sweet as honey, enough for each day. They look at Jesus and see the pattern repeating. A prophet, a leader, a deliverer. Their eyes gleam with the hunger of history, not just for food, for meaning, for proof that God still moves in signs, that he still feeds the helpless, that he still chooses the weak to shame the strong. The disciples feel it, the weight. Not in their backs, though they are weary from healing, from teaching, from walking, but in their chests, a pressure, like the moment before thunder. They had just returned from villages where they cast out spirits, where they anointed the sick, where power flowed through their hands like water. Now they stand empty, drained. Their pockets hold no coins worth mention. Their baskets empty. Their minds race with logistics. 5,000. More, if women and children. Mouths, throats, hands outstretched. The sun climbs. The heat presses down. Sweat beads on foreheads, trickles into beards. One loaf would vanish before it left the hand. Hospitality. Not a custom. A covenant. To turn away the hungry? Unthinkable, a stain on honor, a breach of the sacred law written not on stone, but in the blood of ancestors. To feed a stranger was to feed God. To refuse was to deny the divine presence in the human face. And yet, how? The fields are distant, the markets farther. 200 denarii? A fortune, a year's wage for many. And still, scarcity, a crumb per person. The math is clear, cold, final. They suggest it, quietly. Send them away, let them find food in the villages. It's reasonable. It's responsible. It's what any leader would do. But Jesus doesn't move. He sits. His robe pools around him like still water. His eyes, calm, not amused, not angry, expectant. He turns to Philip, a question, soft, precise. Where shall we buy bread? Not if, not whether, where. As if the solution lies in trade, in commerce, in human supply. But the question isn't for the crowd, it's for the 12. A trap? No, a threshold. He is asking them to see what they have, not what they lack. To look into the small sack one of them carries. 5 loaves, barley, coarse, the bread of the poor, 2 fish, dried, small, barely a meal for one. And to consider, is this enough? The pressure isn't in the numbers, it's in the invitation. To trust, not in silver, not in strategy, in Him. The air tightens. Clouds gather on the horizon, dark, slow, rolling over the hills like a tide. No rain yet, but the scent of ozone. The hush before breaking. The disciples shift. Avoid His gaze. Their calculations are correct. Their theology is not. They believe in miracles, water to wine, the sick made whole. But not here. Not now. Not with this, not with them. They have seen the power, but they do not believe it resides in their hands, in their obedience, in their surrender. The wilderness watches. The wind drops. A bird cries, sharp, sudden, then silence. The only sound, breath, shallow, waiting. The disciples stand between what they know and what they cannot yet imagine, between the weight of history and the whisper of possibility, between the math that counts bread and the faith that multiplies it. He does the reckoning. Philip. In his mind, coins clink. Denarii stacked in rows. 200. A laborer's wage, day after day, sun up to sundown, hands cracked, back bent. 8 months of that. Sweat bought and counted. And for what? A taste. A crumb passed hand to hand. Not a meal. Not even a memory of fullness. Just the ghost of bread on the tongue. The crowd stretches, thousands deep. Bodies seated in clusters, like stones scattered on a riverbank. 5,000, more, and each one hollow, each one waiting. The sum collapses under its own weight. Impossible. The word sits in his throat, thick, sour. Andrew moves, always the one who sees the edges, the margins. The boy, small, bare feet dusty, a satchel slung over one shoulder, simple cloth. He pulls him forward, hesitant. The others glance. A flicker of something, pity, amusement, crosses their faces. But Andrew speaks, clear, earnest. Here is a lad, with 5 loaves, barley, coarse, the kind baked in clay ovens, dark as soil, broken with the knuckles, not a knife, and 2 fish, small, sun-dried, salt-crusted. The sort hung on a string above a fisherman's hearth, used to flavor a stew, not feed a soul. The offering rests in the boy's hands, meager, naked, exposed. But how far will they go? Andrew's voice, not mocking, not cruel. A question shaped by arithmetic, by dust, by the sun now high, bleaching the hillside. The loaves look smaller in the light, the fish tinier. A child's lunch, nothing more. The wind stirs, grass ripples. A ripple of laughter, low, almost soundless, passes through the disciples. Then silence, the kind that settles in the hollow behind the ribs. The boy does not flinch. He holds out his hands, as if to say, "It is all I have." Jesus does not look away, does not sigh, does not weigh the bread in his palm, testing its worth. He sees the hands, the dirt under the nails, the trust in the boy's eyes, and he receives. No hesitation, no judgment. The gift is not measured by size, only by surrender. He takes it, the loaves, the fish, the offering of a child in a world that ignores children. And in that taking, something shifts. The air thins, the light deepens, gold spills across the slopes, long shadows stretch like fingers. "Sit," he says, not loud, but the word carries. Have all sit down. The disciples blink, obey, move among the people. Gestures, voices low, men, women, children settle on the grass, cloaks spread, robes folded beneath hips. The hillside softens, the green thickens. The text notes it. There was much grass, lush, damp, cool under bare skin. Not dust, not stone, grass, as if the earth itself prepared a table, a banquet hall without walls, open to sky, open to wind, open to miracle. He lifts the bread, 5 loaves, small, rough, the grain coarse between his fingers. He looks up, not to the crowd, not to the disciples, up. The sun halos his face, his lips move, a prayer, thanksgiving. The Greek word, Eucharisteo, soft, ancient, sacred. The same word spoken over bread in quiet rooms centuries later. The root of remembrance, of grace, of presence. He gives thanks, not for what is, but for what will be. Then he breaks. The crust yields. A sound, dry, crisp, like a twig snapping in still air. And the bread divides, and divides again, and again. No pause, no strain. The fragments multiply in his hands, not by magic, not by illusion, by giving, by breaking, by releasing. The disciples step forward, baskets in hand, hesitant, then certain. They pass among the rows, hands reach, loaves appear. Fish, whole now, glisten, silver scaled, fresh from water, though no net was cast. The first man takes, chews, swallows, his eyes close, a sigh. The second, the third, a woman tears bread, hands it to her child. A man leans back, full, wiping his mouth. The distribution flows, not rushed, not frantic, like water finding its level. The disciples move, no longer counting, no longer calculating. They are vessels, channels, waiters at a feast with no end. 5 loaves, 5,000 fed, and still bread in the baskets, still fish on the platters, still hands reaching, mouths opening, bellies filling, not scraps, not rationed, but abundance. Each person eats until satisfied, until the hollow ache vanishes, until the body remembers what it is to be whole. When all are full, he speaks again. Gather the pieces left over. Let nothing perish. The command is firm. Not wasteful, not careless. Honor the gift. Respect the giver. The disciples return. Baskets empty now? No. Filled, overflowing, 12 of them. One for each man, each one heavy, laden with fragments, crumbs, crusts, bits of fish, not remnants of lack, but evidence of plenty. 12 baskets, one for each tribe, one for each promise, one for each thread in the weave of a people. The crowd stirs, not in hunger, in awe. They look at one another. Murmurs rise, like wind through reeds, like water over stone. This one, this man, he is the prophet, the one spoken of, the one who comes, the one who feeds, the one who sees, the one who gives. Not just bread, but life, not just full stomachs, but hope. Not just a meal, but a sign, a voice in the wilderness, a table in the desert, a light in the long dark. They whisper, then speak, then believe. For a moment, just a moment, the veil thins, and they see not just a miracle, but the maker of it. Signs, not ends, beginnings. Each one a door ajar, light spilling into shadowed rooms of understanding. John builds his gospel on these thresholds, not mere wonders, not spectacle, but invitations to look deeper, to see beyond the surface of water turned to wine, of limbs uncurled after years of ache, of bread broken in a wilderness where hunger had sharpened every eye. This one, the feeding, echoes across all four Gospels. A rare convergence, but only John traces the thread from loaves to lips to life eternal. Only John records the words that follow. I am the bread of life, not bread, not a baker. The bread, the source, the sustenance, the very substance of existence drawn from heaven's store. Barley, not wheat, not fine flour sifted through linen, coarse, gritty between teeth. The bread of laborers, of widows, of boys who carry their lunch in a scrap of cloth. John names it, on purpose, a whisper back to Elisha. 20 loaves, 100 fed, a prophet's miracle, small, contained, a ripple in time. But here, 5 loaves, 5,000, then more. The numbers burst the banks. Jesus doesn't echo Elisha. He fulfills him, surpasses him, stands where Moses stood on holy ground and speaks a new law. Not stone tablets, but flesh. Not manna that rots by noon, but bread that never spoils. Manna, dew on desert dust, sweet, fleeting, gone by midday heat, a daily gift, a temporary stay against starvation. But it left Israel hungry again, and again and again. A cycle of craving and relief, relief and craving. Jesus offers a feast that never ends, a loaf that renews itself in the eating. Not a ration, a river, not a crumb, a banquet without end. The manna sustained bodies in transit. This bread sustains souls forever. Watch his hands, the motion, deliberate, sacred. He takes, not grabs, not demands, receives, then gives thanks. Eucharisteo. The word hums with weight, the same breath that will hover over bread in an upper room hours before iron pierces flesh. the same word breathed over wine that will soon taste of blood. Then he breaks. The crust yields, not shattered, not crushed, broken, a careful fracturing, a yielding, and in that breaking, multiplication. Not in spite of the break, because of it. The gift grows only when it is divided, only when it is given away. The cross looms in that gesture. The same hands that broke bread will be nailed to wood. The same body that fed thousands will be torn, pierced, spilled, but not lost, not wasted. The breaking is the giving. The giving is the life. The bread they ate that day filled stomachs. The bread he became fills eternity. One body, shattered, shared, millions fed, souls satisfied, not for a day, not for a season, forever. 12 baskets filled, not with leftovers, with fragments, crumbs, crusts, bits of fish, gathered, not a scrap lost, not a morsel scattered. John counts them. 12, one for each disciple, one for each tribe, one for each strand in the covenant's weave, a picture, not of thrift, of completeness, of divine economy, nothing discarded, nothing forgotten. Jesus says it plainly, I shall lose nothing of all that the Father has given me, not one soul, not one fragment. The church scattered, broken, divided, yet gathered, held, kept, not in spite of our fractures, because of them. We are the baskets. We carry the pieces, the evidence of grace. They wanted a king, a provider, a distributor of bread, a conqueror who would fill bellies and overthrow Rome. They saw the loaves, not the lamb. They wanted sustenance. He offered sacrifice. They wanted a throne. He walked toward a tree. The bread they took that day, gone by evening, dissolved, forgotten. But the bread of life, consumed, and yet remains unchanged, unending. The feast continues, not in a field, at an altar, not with barley, with body, not with fish, with blood. The multiplication in the wilderness, small, a shadow of what was to come. At Calvary, one body, one offering, one breaking, and from it, rivers of life, oceans of grace, millions across centuries, fed, nourished, raised, not by strategy, not by silver, by surrender, by sacrifice, by a loaf lifted, thanked, broken, given. The bread they ate made them hungry again. The bread they rejected, that same bread, satisfies forever. Warm light, golden, soft as worn linen. It slips through high clouds, gentle on the skin. Not sharp, not urgent, the kind that pools in your palms if you hold them open. You have known lack, felt it in the hollow behind your ribs, the hours too short, the strength gone, the words unspoken, the gift too small. 5 loaves, 2 fish, yours. You've counted them, weighed them, held them in cupped hands, whispered, "This is all I am." The disciples did the math. Precise, cold. Logic has its place until it meets the living hand. Their error? Not the numbers. Never the numbers. They forgot to add him into the sum. Jesus turned to Philip, knew the answer already. Still asked, "What do you have?" He asks you the same. in the quiet after effort, in the hush when the work is done and the need remains. What do you have? A boy offered bread wrapped in cloth, meant for one, meant to last a day. In his hand, scarcity. In Christ's, enough, more than. The question isn't size, isn't sufficiency. It's surrender. Will you give it? The miracle waited, not before the offering, after. The multiplication began in the breaking, not in hoarding, not in hiding, in the fracture, life. The disciples saw hunger, wanted to send the crowd away. Jesus saw family, invited them near. You're not enough, placed in his hands, comes a feast no one can count. 12 baskets left, not for strangers, for the ones who served, the ones who doubted, the ones who carried the baskets. Grace overflows, not just for the need, for the servant too. Bring your loaves, bring your fish, bring the ache of insufficiency. Lay it down, watch. The sun lowers, the air cools, a breeze stirs the grass, whispers through the stems. You breathe deeper now. The weight you carried, still there, but not yours to hold. Rest. Let the light warm your face. Let your hands open, empty. The infinite receives what is small and makes it wide, wide as the sky, wide as mercy. Sleep, you are held.